Hey everyone, glad to have you back for another deep dive here on Investor Voice. I'm Michael, and before we jump in, let me take you back about 25 years. I was just starting out as a financial advisor. Picture this, a fresh-faced kid, trained up, stack of business cards, brain packed with theories. I thought I had it all nailed down. Asset allocation, diversification, compound interest. I could rattle off stats about the S&P 500 without missing a beat. Honestly, I was sure I knew exactly what it took to build wealth. But then I started sitting down with real people with busy lives, worries, hopes, and dreams. And man, the gap between knowing what you should do and actually doing it hits you fast. I remember talking to couples with good jobs, smart, genuinely wanting to build something for the future. I'd spell out a simple plan, save a certain amount every month, put it in a low-cost index fund, let time do its thing. They always nodded, shook my hand, promised to start on Monday. But then Monday came, and so did real life. The car broke down. The kids needed shoes. There was a birthday party, then a vacation, and suddenly 100 little reasons why the plan got pushed to the side. Or they'd start, the market would slide, and they'd panic sell at the worst possible time, locking in losses and swearing off investing forever. They weren't short on knowledge or intention. They just didn't have a system. That's really the word we need to zero in on, system. After 20 years of doing this, working with thousands of clients and growing my own portfolio, I'm convinced. The gap isn't intelligence. It's not talent. It's not even how hard you work. The real difference maker is having systems. The people who reach their goals aren't running on willpower. They're not flying blind every morning, making it up as they go. They've got a framework, a set of steps they follow almost without thinking, day in and day out, that keeps them moving forward. The people who constantly feel behind, they're the ones winging it, putting out fires as they come, always reacting instead of taking charge. That just leads to burnout. So today we're flipping that script. We're talking about what systems actually mean, why they matter, and I'm giving you 5 systems I've used and taught for years. These aren't pie-in-the-sky theories. They're real, useful frameworks, practical stuff you can actually put to work. Whatever success looks like for you, financial freedom, a thriving business, a healthier body, better relationships, or all of the above. Systems are the way to get there. Let's jump in. First, we need to get honest about what success actually is. Because if you're building systems, you've got to know what you're building them for. Too often, people think success is just a number in the bank, a fancy job title, a big house, or a shiny car. Sure, those things can feel good, and sometimes they show up when things are going well. But if you hit all those markers and you're constantly stressed, or your health is gone, your relationships are shaky, or you just don't have peace of mind, did you really win? I don't think so. I've sat with millionaires who were miserable, And I've seen folks living with much less who just radiate satisfaction because they're living in line with what matters to them. For today, let's broaden the definition of success. First, chase goals that truly matter to you, not what parents want, not what you're supposed to want, your goals, the ones that excite you. Second, go after them without sacrificing everything else. Don't trade health, relationships, or peace for one win. Think long term. Care for your whole self. Enjoy the journey. Hitting your goal but ending burned out and empty isn't a win. It's a different kind of loss. Real success means reaching meaningful goals, keeping balance, and enjoying the process. So how do you get there? It starts with taking action, not just any action, but consistent, intentional, focused steps. Day after day, this approach makes it more likely you'll hit your target. By sharing your efforts across life, you stay balanced. With the right attitude, finding fun and internal motivation, you actually enjoy it along the way. However, here's the hard part. Maintaining those right actions every day gets tough if you're winging it. Deciding to work out today, or figuring out what to eat or whether to save or spend, each choice chips away at mental energy. By evening, you're worn out, taking shortcuts, maybe skipping the gym, ordering takeout, or wasting time online. If you rely only on motivation or discipline, it becomes a losing game. Motivation fluctuates. Discipline wears out like a tired muscle. That's why something sturdier is needed, a system. What is a system? It's a sequence of steps that takes you where you want to go, a recipe, a checklist, a routine. Follow it and you get results. High-stakes fields prove this. Pilots use checklists for every stage: takeoff, landing, emergencies, regardless of experience, because mistakes cost too much. That's why aviation is safe. The same applies in medicine. Doctors follow an approach: history, exam, diagnosis. And even veteran surgeons use checklists before every operation. Systems aren't optional, they're essential. Your life is high stakes too. Just as in those fields, your goals, health, relationships, and future all matter. So why leave these things to chance? Why depend on memory, fleeting motivation, or willpower? Build a system. Without a system, your effort zigzags. Fired up some days, nothing on others. Growth slows, setbacks happen, and giving up becomes easy. With a system, you do upfront work, design your process, set checklists, automate what you can. It feels like a steep climb at first, but afterward, work gets easier, effort flattens, and you avoid running on motivation fumes or making tiny daily decisions. Just follow the roadmap for steady progress. That's the secret, not grinding harder, but building so the right thing becomes the obvious, easy move. That's how you set yourself up to win. Personal example. For years I did the gym thing, sort of. Showed up, freestyled it, cardio, weights, sometimes chatting. Nothing changed. Hours invested, unfocused. Everything shifted when I hired a trainer. Suddenly, set exercises, specific weights, scheduled times, progressive overload, bumping difficulty each session. First time I saw results. Not working harder. Workouts are shorter and more efficient. Just had a real system. Same principle beyond fitness. Starting a business, winging sales calls gets rough. Build a process, script, common answers, follow-up system. Remove guesswork. System doesn't do heavy lifting, but frees headspace. Now concentrate on connecting, not scrambling. 5 bigger picture systems everyone benefits from. First, goal setting. Sounds obvious, but many wander with foggy ambitions. Healthier, more money, just happy. Never trackable targets. No goals, no direction, just hoping. A goal-setting system gives a method. Clarify, break into pieces, and track progress. Plenty of good frameworks. I have my own GPS system, but details matter less than consistency. The key is using it often, not just in January, all year long. Here's how my version works. I start with a vision exercise. Every once in a while I pull back from the everyday grind and ask myself, what really matters to me? Who do I want to be in 5, 10, 20 years? What would a great life look like? This isn't about pinning down hard numbers yet. It's about setting my compass, knowing my true north. From there, I sketch out a picture of where I want to be 3 years from now. What's my job like? How are my relationships? How do I feel when I get up in the morning? It's more concrete, but still with room to dream. Then I chop that 3-year sketch into quarterly quests, 90-day goals. They're specific, measurable, and this part's crucial, actually exciting. Those are the things I run after for the next 3 months. The goals are ambitious, but they're realistic too. Every week I sit down and look over my big quarterly objectives, then ask myself, what's the one thing I can do this week to get closer to each goal? That one thing gets scheduled onto my calendar. I also spend a bit of time thinking back. What actually went well last week? What didn't? What did I learn? The whole process takes just a few hours every quarter and maybe half an hour each week. It doesn't suck up much time, but the clarity you get is huge. Without it, you can easily get swept up in whatever feels urgent and forget about what actually matters. But stick with the process, and your daily actions start lining up with your core values. You're not just staying busy, you're actually making progress in the ways that matter most. Then there's my time management system. Basically, this is what turns your goals into real life. You only achieve goals through action, and action takes time, and time's the only resource you can't get more of. Doesn't matter how much money you make, time is fixed. We all get 168 hours each week. After sleep, work, and basic stuff like eating or commuting, you end up with 40 to 50 hours of free time if you're lucky. That's it. That's the bucket you pour into your health, relationships, hobbies, side hustles, personal growth, rest, and fun. The problem is, most people act as if their time is limitless. They waste hours scrolling on social media, clicking around without purpose, letting someone else's emergencies take over their schedule. Taking control of your time with a solid system is how you start investing your hours in what truly matters to you. For me, a good time management system has three main parts. First, time blocking. Instead of keeping a vague to-do list and crossing your fingers that you'll get to it, you actually put your important tasks into your calendar. You carve out blocks of time for them. That means date night with my wife is scheduled every week. My gym sessions, on the calendar. Filming videos for this channel, blocked in. Deep work on my big projects, scheduled. By putting these things on my calendar, I'm making a promise to myself. They're not optional. Just as serious as a client meeting or a doctor's appointment. Second, prioritization. You can't do everything. No one can. You need to make smart choices. A good time management system helps you figure out the handful of tasks that will really move the needle and lets you ignore, delegate, or put off everything else. Third, reflection. You have to regularly check in and see where your time actually went. What worked, what didn't, what needs tweaking. Every week, I spend 20 minutes with my calendar and journal, looking back over the last week and asking myself a few quick questions. What went well? What didn't? What did I learn? What am I going to do differently next week? It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Helps me stay on track, catch problems early, and constantly improve how I use my time. Then there's my health system, what I call my health OS. Health is the bedrock for everything else. If you're tired, sick, or run down, it messes with your energy, mood, relationships, focus, patience, basically every part of your life. But most people treat their health reactively. They wait until they're sick to see a doctor. They only try to get in shape once they already feel miserable. They promise themselves more sleep when they're completely exhausted. Health OS flips that around. It's a proactive approach to taking care of your physical well-being. There are three pillars: sleep, nutrition, and exercise. Let's start with sleep. Sleep isn't just something nice to have. Your body and mind actually need it. At night, your body gets to work fixing itself. Your brain tidies up memories, and your hormones fall in line. If you cut corners on sleep, it's like running a car without oil. Eventually, things fall apart. Good sleep usually comes down to a handful of habits that you stick to every day. Start with a regular bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends. This keeps your body's internal clock running smoothly. Make your bedroom a bit cooler. Around 19 degrees Celsius is best for most people. Get some sunlight on your face within the first hour after waking up. It really helps set your rhythm for the day. Leave your phone outside the bedroom so you're not tempted to doom scroll at 2 a.m. If you like, use a sleep tracker to spot patterns or problems. These things aren't complicated, but if you do them every day, your sleep gets a whole lot better. Let's talk food. A system for nutrition takes the stress and guesswork out of eating. Nobody wants to make choices about every single meal all the time. Instead, set some defaults. Maybe you eat the same healthy breakfast most mornings. Do a bit of meal prep on Sundays so lunches are sorted for the week and you're less likely to grab unhealthy takeout. Have a list of 10 solid dinners you can rotate so you're not stuck wondering what to cook. Grocery shopping gets easier with a list built off your plan. This doesn't mean you can never be spontaneous or treat yourself. It just means you've made the healthy choice, the easy choice most of the time. You don't waste energy deciding what to eat. You just stick to the system, and it works in the background to keep you fueled. Exercise works the same way. Make a plan. Decide in advance what kind of workout you're doing, when you're doing it, and for how long. For me, that looks like weightlifting 3 times a week, cardio like running or cycling another 3 times, plus yoga once or twice a week. I try to walk at least 10,000 steps a day. Everything's on my calendar as if it's a real appointment that can't be moved. I don't ask myself each day if I feel like working out. The answer is set. I just show up and do it. That's the real magic of having a system. It makes the healthy thing the path of least resistance. Now, the trickiest system of all, relationships. People get wary about this one. I've heard it before. You can't turn relationships into a system. That's just too cold. Or, relationships should happen naturally. I get where they're coming from, but honestly, the most important people in your life deserve more than just whatever left at the end of the day. Life gets full. Work piles up. You have kids and suddenly years have slipped past. If you don't actually put effort and intention into your relationships, they fade. Friendships drift away. You and your partner stop talking about anything real. You grow distant from your kids. A relationship system is just a way to make sure you're showing up for the people who mean the most. For marriage or long partnerships, it might mean putting a date night on the calendar every single week, no exceptions. Set aside a regular time each month to sit down with your partner, maybe over a cup of tea, and talk about what's really going on. How are things working? What feels a bit off? Any tiny annoyances to clear before they grow into something big? Sure, it sounds structured, even clinical, but it gives you a safe, regular space to talk honestly, which a lot of couples just don't have. It stops you from drifting apart. Friendships need systems. Saturday lake meetups, rain or shine, ritual. No schedule fussing, just a standing invite. Connections stuck, family too. Early holiday planning, marking birthdays, simple routines. Best at staying connected, just stick to rituals. Personal finance matters most. The system automates saving when the paycheck hits. No system, Pay bills, spend, save leftovers, barely anything. Paying yourself last. That's why building wealth feels hard. With a system, you flip things around. Set rules. 20% of every paycheck is untouchable for your future. Money arrives, and an automatic transfer moves it to savings. Out of sight, out of mind. Another transfer covers fixed bills. After that, whatever left is yours guilt-free. Pay yourself first is powerful. Takes emotion out. Stocks tank. Fear pushes selling low. Sad. Spending feels like comfort. A system guards against all that. Keeps us doing what's right in the long term. Like Ulysses tying himself to the mast. Systems aren't about becoming a robot. They bring back spontaneity, joy, and freedom. Automate boring stuff. Free up attention for what matters. Health routine? No debating workouts. Stick to the plan. Show up focused. Relationships? Systems help stay connected. Little rituals keep you present. Finances? No tossing at night, wondering if you're doing enough. Everything runs in the background. Breathe and enjoy. Systems aren't chains. They're what let you leap into freedom, creativity, and purpose. Pilot your own life. If this clicks, tired of improvising, want habits that move you forward, join Investor Voice. Hit subscribe. It's free, it's quick, and you won't miss out on any of the actionable stuff we share every week. And if you've got a second, tap the like button. It might seem minor, but it helps more people find this channel who need these ideas. Share this video with someone who's always stressed about money, or overwhelmed by life, or just burned out. Pass it along. It could be just the thing they need to hear. Now, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below. Maybe you have a system that already makes a big difference in your life. Or maybe there's an area you know needs a system, but you haven't gotten there yet. Your stories shape what happens next here. They let me know what you're dealing with and where you need help. So go ahead, drop those thoughts below. For now, I'm Michael, and I'll catch you in the next video. Start building your systems. You'll be glad you did.